Last time on my Crynicles, Samuel, what are you doing here?
I heard about the accident. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. When did he get a charger? The critically acclaimed thought car. And who was that thought in it? See, now here is a man who knows what he wants. Publicly letting people know he thinks I'm cute. I appreciated that. Why do you fuck with me?
You got potential. You just gotta find it.
Yo, what the fuck is wrong with this piece of shit?
Hey, bruh, chill on Margaret.
This bitch Margaret trash as fuck.
Seriously, get off! I still don't understand it, but it was a misjudgment I would pay dearly for.
So what are you going to do?
I gotta call Joe Mawkins in the morning because I'm not paying to get that shit towed.
No, about Avery.
Oh, he's just mad I didn't want to be all over him in the middle of the street. He's the least of my concerns right now.
Is he always like that?
What, an asshole? Yeah, kinda. The alcohol just intensifies it.
I thought y'all talked. He's the one you were telling me about, right?
Talking is a very vague term. Apparently, we just chillin', so I don't give a fuck what he does.
But you do.
Doesn't matter. The only thing that matters right now is the car I just bought won't start. So I'm gonna focus on that. I really didn't need Nikki telling me what I already knew. I was having flashbacks from high school all over again. My friends convincing me to move on and get over Philip because they all knew what I didn't want to admit. I hated those conversations. Still do. Didn't want to have it. Besides, I figured it was likely that Avery was done with me anyway. After all, he wanted to have sex and I wanted to wait till we were dating, but he didn't want to date me, so what was the point in continuing this thing? So the next day, I called my car salesman, going off about how he sold me a lemon. They come, tow my car back to the dealership. He calls me back, says something about there was bad gas in it. Bad gas? I went to Hy-Vee, by Buffalo Wild Wings. Do I need special gas for my car or something? I did use the cheapest one.
Are you sure you didn't use diesel?
I don't know. What's diesel? Which one is that?
Never mind. We sucked out the bad gas and replaced it with the right kind. It's ready for you to come get.
Oh, good. Thank you. No matter how many times I think about this, it still doesn't make sense because diesel is never the cheapest gas, right? And I always use the cheapest gas. So I couldn't imagine not using the cheapest gas. I never made the mistake again, though. That's for sure. I wish I learned all my lessons that easily. Diesel doesn't go in the car. Why? It'll fuck it up. Got it. Assholes like Avery need to be cut off. Why? Because they'll fuck you up. But oh no, he said he was sorry. He was just being stupid and drunk. He even walked all the way to my apartment from his to tell me in person because he didn't have a car. The whole 1.1 mile in the cold, in the middle of the night, when he had practice in the morning. So he must have really meant it. And it was rare for a man to go out of his way for me, so of course, I forgave him. Told myself he was on thin ice though. Even changed his name in my phone and got me messed up. Which was true, because he had me messed up. But apparently not enough. So apparently we put diesel gas in my car. That's why it started crapping out.
We?
Yeah. Remember, I asked you why the pump didn't fit, and you said, here, it's fine. Let's go.
Didn't it seem strange to you that the pump didn't fit?
It didn't seem strange to you when you held it there and pumped the gas. Haven't you been driving since you were 14?
I was drunk.
No, we're just chilling, remember?
Come on, don't be like that.
No, let's just chill. Besides, I'm mad at you.
Is that why you came over? To be mad at me?
Actually, yeah. I was already across the street. So when you texted me, I thought, this is the perfect opportunity to give you peace of my mind.
So let's hear it. What's the piece?
Who was that girl sitting between your legs the other night?
What girl?
After we left the party, we were sitting outside and this girl came up, hugged you, and sat between your legs for a good minute.
What's a good minute?
More than one.
I don't remember who that girl was. Who cares? She's not here right now.
Y'all looked real familiar with each other. Has she been here before?
No. Are you done?
Have you been over to her place?
I don't even know who you're talking about.
Well, let's just think about all the girls' houses you've been over. Before me last week, who else was there?
This is exactly what I said. We're just chilling.
I'm trying to chill. You are the one who keeps trying to take my pants off, so I'll ask as many questions as I want.
So what do you want to know? If I fucked her or not? I honestly don't know what girl you're referring to, but I've had sex since I've been in Missouri, so it's possible. It hasn't been in the past month. Are you happy now?
Why do you have to be like this?
Like what? You asked me a question and I answered it. Like what the fuck are you really asking me? You want to know if you're the only girl who has my attention, right?
Yes.
So say that shit. I swear it feels like I'm in middle school all over again.
Well, am I? Because I don't want to do this anymore if not.
Yes, pancakes. Satisfied?
I guess.
Mm-hmm. You guess? Stop being a brat.
Pants, stay on. Seriously. Avery, stop. Seriously, stop.
What the fuck?
You hit me.
Oh, please. I barely touched you. You bit me.
Well, you should have stopped.
So fucking childish.
You know, I always thought I knew what to do if a man ever hit me. Lose my fucking shit, no doubt. Show him what a knife felt like, if I could reach one. Kick him in the balls, at the very least. 'Cause I've always had somewhat of a short temper, so retaliation seemed certain. But a lot of that temper was carried by a smart mouth. Smart aleck, as the adults sometimes called me. To which I would reply with my oh-so-clever, timeless clapback. Would you rather me be a dumb aleck? This earned me at least 2 pops in the mouth before, at least. And I never thought I deserved to be hit. Well, except for that one time when we were jumping on the bed in my grandmother's house and I kicked my little brother off and his body broke her lamp. But I knew what to do when I got hit. And just like when I was 8 years old, I shut up and tried not to cry till I was in a safe corner. Because if somebody hits you once, they'll hit you twice. Or as many times as it takes for you to learn the lesson. I was the type of kid who only needed to be hit once. But I wasn't a kid anymore, so I should have been able to stand up to him. I had zero problems fighting my brothers or cousins or friends or random boys challenging me on the playground or random men who offended me in public. I'm actually a bully in real life. I can never grasp the nerve with Avery, though. Maybe it was because he was constantly calling me a child, so it made me feel like one. But I was convinced we were not on the same authority level. The very same things that drew me to him were quickly becoming dangerous. The confidence, arrogance, that intelligence, he just had the stronger opinion. This will make more sense later because I haven't even discovered the worst of him yet. But to make a long monologue a little shorter, he scared me. I'd seen his temper and it dwarfed mine. He could, and he would hit me, as he so easily demonstrated without a second thought. So it was in my best interest to leave, which I tried to. Twice.
Where you going?
Home.
Let me see it.
Don't bother.
Let me see it. See, you're fine. My fault though. It was a reflex. I didn't mean to.
God, young, dumb, forgiving might as well have been my motto back then. Should have left. Got too comfortable. Believed he was done trying me for the night. 'Cause it was normal for him to try me, but after a few minutes of protesting, I could sleep unmolested. I guess he was tired of that. Okay. Now, I know this is supposed to be comedy, because it's usually funny. A lot of this shit is funny, and we're gonna laugh again. Don't worry. But let's not forget this is a series of events that made me cry in chronological order. And I've been dreading this episode since the pilot because I really didn't plan on everybody and my mother watching this shit. I even debated on cutting this part out altogether because I didn't want to deal with any of you guys finding out, my friends, my family. I know I never told y'all. I'm sorry that you have to find out like this. But honestly, I'm tired of lying about the shit. So, here's the truth. And I'm really not trying to answer a bunch of questions about it and repeat myself since I already know y'all finna call me, so I'm just gonna show you exactly what happened. Please just wait till the end of the episode to contact me, and I apologize if this is triggering for some of you, so just to be safe, I'm showing the timestamp where to skip to because I know this is gonna be hard to watch. It was hard to recreate. What are you doing?
What's it look like?
Oh,
Whoa. Are you really gonna walk out half naked? Stop playing.
I'm not.
Yeah. Hold still.
Oh, seriously, Avery.
Shh. I think I hear someone in the kitchen.
That should have been where I screamed. But this was so fucking humiliating. I just couldn't. I knew everybody who lived in that house, and the thought of anyone, especially one of my friends, seeing me in this compromising situation seemed worse than the alternative, which was quietly fighting him off and losing. I swear every guy I've ever wrestled with in my life must have been taking it easy on me because I didn't think I was this weak. And I think he was playing with me. Like, I think that he thought we were playing for some reason. So I wasn't even getting like the full strength. Like, if he barely touched me when he slapped me, I didn't want to feel what it felt like when he wasn't going easy on me. So I couldn't really fight back because what if he really started fighting back? I don't know how I could have made myself clearer though. Later Avery would tell me how he was a master at body language and he could tell when a woman wanted him simply by looking at him. Now I liked Avery, so I couldn't be sure if he was confusing like for lust in my eyes, but could he not read fear? Because I was not ready for this.
Relax.
And any idiot could tell you if a woman really wanted sex, she would open her legs for you, not make you pry them apart. Even if my verbal and physical protests weren't enough, the biological one should have been the final clue that I didn't want this. I was bone fucking dry. So what body language was he reading? Ew, don't use your spit.
Grow up.
If you've been following me for a while, you may have heard me mention how much I hate this. I've literally done research on why spit is not adequate lube. But, we can chalk a lot of that hatred up to this moment. It fucking hurt.
Relax.
I can't. How could I? Can we please stop?
Here. I got you. Better?
The bastard simply flipped me over. And the worst part was, it actually did feel better. I wasn't about to give him the satisfaction of answering the question, though. I was also done fighting back at this point. There wasn't too much I could do on my stomach where I couldn't even reach him. And if he didn't listen before, he really wasn't going to listen to me now. And disturbingly enough, painful sex wasn't anything new to me. So it wasn't that difficult to just lay there and wait him out. He didn't take long.
See, that wasn't so bad now, was it?
Yes. I know this is exactly how I said it too because I remember being horribly out of touch with my emotions after this. I wanted to be more angry, but I was just so happy it was over.
Yeah. Dramatics. Go clean yourself up. I'm kidding. But seriously, go pee. It's good for you.
How was it possible he didn't leave a mark on me? Seatbelts leave marks on me. My fucking backpack leaves marks on me. I guess he wasn't being particularly rough, but there wasn't a single shred of evidence of him holding me down or forcing my legs open. My face wasn't even red from the slap. I looked fine, perfectly normal. Was I fine? Because I remember how alive I felt after the car accident. This little scar was the only thing I had to remind me that I almost died 2.5 months ago. All this was covered in blood. I could barely see. For a few seconds, I couldn't hear. I thought I ate the steering wheel because my tooth was broken, but apparently that was from my head going through the window. But I knew I was fine. I was sure of it. So why didn't I feel that same assurance without a scratch on me? I didn't feel anything.
Where you going?
Home,
Why?
so I can sleep in my bed.
What's wrong with my bed?
I would have to go home in a few hours and leave for practice anyway. Plus, I have work in the morning. This way I only have to get up once.
Never stopped you before.
Well, I don't feel like doing it anymore.
What's your problem?
He couldn't be serious right now. He had to understand what just happened, right? Was I tripping? Did he not just commit a first-degree felony upon me? You.
Whatever, yo. Turn the lock on your way out.
It wasn't like I didn't realize what happened to me. I remember being taught no means no from a very early age. At home, at school, on TV. Now, granted, this was before the whole Me Too movement, but I thought it was pretty common knowledge that no meant no. Even if it didn't, me trying to leave and pushing him off me should have been dead giveaways. But Avery's nonchalant demeanor was throwing me. Did he really not understand that? How could you not understand that? Who told you no means yes? Who taught you to force your way inside of a girl as she asked you to stop? Seriously, who the fuck was it? No. You had to know it was wrong. You just didn't care. I debated on going to the emergency room, but I just didn't know enough about rape kits to think they'd find anything. He'd used a condom. There were no marks on me. Even if it proved I had sex, because of the trauma my poor walls must have went through when he entered me without proper lubrication, I didn't have any way of proving it was rape, or that it was him. Plus, if I did the kit, I thought I'd have to file a police report, and then my parents would find out, and I didn't want them to know because I was supposed to be at college making good, smart decisions. Not sleeping over at men's houses who I already knew had a temper, and I didn't want them to know how stupid I was. Then my friends would find out because me and Avery had the same friend group, and what if they didn't believe me because everybody fucking knew I liked him, and then I said he was an asshole, so I wasn't talking to him anymore, so I really shouldn't have even been there. I would have to explain everything that happened, and then they would point out where I went wrong, where I should have left, or fought harder, or screamed bloody murder, or kicked him in the balls, or anything more than just telling him no and trying to push him off me because clearly that wasn't enough. So why didn't you keep fighting, Sierra? And I didn't want them to know how weak I was. And then he would probably get kicked out of Mizzou athletics, which would lead to a fucking scandal because Mizzou loves writing news stories about their athletes, and the entire school would know because it would be in one of those fucking emails I would get all the time about other girls getting sexually assaulted. Only this time I would be the one the email was about, and everybody would know. And then we'd have to go to court because there was no way Avery was going to let me ruin his reputation, and I'd have to get on stand and tell the entire courtroom how fucking stupid and weak I was because I knew he was an asshole and I shouldn't have even been with him, but I was. And please believe me that I said no and wanted to wait, but then he would show the court my family and friends my nudes, and I'd lose the case, and everybody think I was just a dumb hoe who lied about rape and... You're okay. I couldn't handle that. I couldn't handle any of that. It was much safer to pretend that this never happened. So, that's what I did, and that's why none of you have heard this story before. Sorry. I avoided Avery after that, or at least I tried to. But, it was hard when you have the same friends because I saw him all the time. I would either glare or ignore him whenever he was in my presence, but he really didn't understand why I was mad at him, so he kept trying to talk to me like nothing happened, which I guess I was also doing because I wasn't addressing what happened. It's like he thought that I was mad at him because he convinced me to sleep with him, but there was no convincing, only force, so I couldn't wrap my head around what he was so damn smug about. Could it really be possible that he was so arrogant that he thought that I was unable to refuse him and mean it? This egotistical maniac didn't even process my rejection as real, only that I was playing hard to get. And I'm just trying to figure out, how does one become this way? Dude, I told you not to come.
Yeah, whatever.
This is what Avery did. If he couldn't get me to come over, he would walk over. Once it was snowing, and he still walked. And I always told him no, like, don't come over. Like, I don't want you to. Just stay where you're at. He never listened. And honestly, I was too soft because I felt bad sending him away once he was already there because, it was cold, dark, snowing, rainy, whatever the issue was, because it was always something. And he fucking knew it. So, plus, oh yeah, he would, because it was always something and he fucking knew it. And then he would threaten to bang on my door if I didn't answer and wake up all the neighbors. Then I would have to explain to my roommates why we couldn't let him in. And once again, I would rather dig myself into a deeper hole than let people know what a fucking idiot I was. This would have been the perfect opportunity to figure out what the fuck happened last time we were in bed together. But that would fuck up the lie I was determined to live that nothing happened. So instead, I chose to simply ignore him, work on homework, and not get within touching distance so he'd get the message. But the only message he was getting was that I let him in the house, so clearly I wanted to let him in my body. Once again, said no, tried to push him off, even said I didn't feel well because maybe I needed another excuse, an actual excuse as to why I didn't want to have sex instead of just not wanting to. Nothing worked. He didn't listen. He didn't believe me. He never believed me.
Yo, you're bleeding.
What?
Yeah, you actually bled a lot. You straight?
My first thought was panic. Whatever he didn't rip the first time, he must have ripped this time because it wasn't normal for me to bleed during sex. At least not since I was a sophomore in high school losing my virginity. So what the fuck had he done to me? But after I calmed down and checked, it was only my period. I must have a really fucked up sense of humor because this was not supposed to be funny. None of this situation is funny. I was in an entire abusive relationship without even being in a relationship. But all I could think of was how it was what he deserved. My period started.
You know you're on your period?
I knew I didn't feel well, which I told you before we started.
Mm-hmm.
Did he get on the sheets?
Nope. Just me.
Good, I'm happy I bled all over you, fucking dick. Because I knew I couldn't have been that wet. He was convinced that I was so wet for him, and I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it couldn't have been possible. And now he knew it too. But, normal girls would probably be embarrassed. Sorry.
Shit happens. Most of it came off with the condom.
I hate that he chose this moment to be so understanding and nice. Because it made it hard for me to stay mad at him. Because, I'm a fucking idiot. He was supposed to shame me and leave, not kiss my forehead and rub my back. What the fuck kind of personality disorder was this? And to whom did it belong to? Because I was definitely sick. He'd forced himself on me twice now. 2 times. And here he was acting like a perfectly reasonable and kind gentleman, and I was falling for it. But I knew exactly what type of man he was, and I chose to see the sham. I didn't know which one of us was more sick. How do you forgive someone who doesn't even say sorry, Sierra? Come on! Because he didn't know what he did was wrong, the sickness would say. He's not a monster. He's just controlling and cocky. These things could be fixed. Yeah, like how I fixed Dylan. Fucking idiot. This insanity unfortunately went on for another 2 weeks because I distinctly remember going home for Thanksgiving break and being irritated that he didn't hit me up. Because, my dumb ass was under the impression that there was actually something going on between us. Like, eventually we'd be dating or something. Like, regardless if it was forced or not. We'd had sex in my period. Should have never happened, but it did. And now I had some sort of unnatural attachment to him. I think that I thought that if I could get him to fall in love with me, it would erase what happened, because then he didn't have to be my rapist. He could be my boyfriend, and it would be fine. Spoiler alert, Avery was a lot of things, but he was never my boyfriend, so... So after break, I remember going to his apartment. This was the first time I was actually going to go over there for sex, like consent and everything. He was gonna get it. But out of nowhere, he came down with a sudden random case of impotence. Impotence? Impotence.
Just forget it. It's not gonna happen.
What am I doing wrong?
All this kissing does nothing for me. Try something else.
Like what?
I have a dick.
No. I don't believe you.
Cute. Why don't you start there if you want it hard?
I gave it a few tugs, but my heart wasn't in it. If he wanted head, he was shit out of fucking luck. As much as I convinced myself that I wanted to be with Avery, the thought of getting on my knees to please him was too much. So we didn't have sex, but it did finally open my fucking eyes. If he could only get hard when I was resisting him, he was definitely sicker than me, and I needed to get the fuck out. So we were over, at least in my mind anyway, not so much in Avery's. Once again, he was outside my door threatening to wake up the entire neighborhood if I didn't let him in.
So what? You're done with me?
Yup.
Met someone else?
No, I just don't want to do this anymore.
Do what?
You know what?
I don't. Tell me.
This. All of this. You're not gonna date me anyway, so what's the point?
So that's what it's all about. You want me to be your boyfriend?
You gonna? I knew Avery. No. I knew men well enough to know I was perfectly safe saying this because he wasn't gonna call my bluff.
Why are you trying to rush this? We've only known each other for a few months. I'm still trying to figure you out.
There's nothing to figure out, dude. What you see is what you get.
Yeah, that's part of the problem.
What's that supposed to mean?
Look, my girl has to be like next level, like untouchable. No one can say shit to her. Confidence on 10, mindset on 10. Just the way she carries herself has to be on point.
And how do I carry myself?
It's like you don't know what you possess.
Oh well, guess I'm not the one.
I could get you there.
I'm good.
Suit yourself. One last time for the road?
No.
Come on, clean pussy, clean panties? Obviously that's for me.
Let me tell y'all how far up his own ass this dick was real quick. He comes over unannounced. I just so happened to have taken a shower before he got here because that's what I do before I go to sleep. I keep my underwear in one of those little cheap drawer container things from Walmart in my closet. My closet is in the bathroom. I guess I forgot to close it when I took out the clean pair. Fatal mistake I almost paid for because Avery went to use my bathroom, saw the door was open, and figured, oh, she showered for me. She put on clean panties for me. Not because this is something that normal people do at night. I've actually mentioned this once before in a different video where I was talking about how men think women can't control themselves. I'll add the little link thing in the corner or whatever. But anyway, yeah, this nigga thought that I just couldn't be clean without wanting him to touch me. I just can't wrap my mind around this. This was not gonna happen again. I refused. He was gonna have to pull me out.
Under the bed? How old are you?
Let me go.
Ew, what is this? We don't shave anymore?
I could literally feel the gears turning as he slowly realized maybe I was serious and I didn't want to have sex with him. Could it really be as simple as me shaving that made him think I wanted to fuck? I honestly only started shaving because he had a terrible habit of sticking his hands in my pants while I slept, which was which is fucked up, yeah, but I didn't mind fingering too much because he was pretty good at it. But if I had known I was consenting to fucking everything with that...
You know, Pancakes, you're like one of those buildings where it's not quite foreign construction. Some people drive by, they're like, what the fuck is this? But then, in a few months or so, they come back and they see the finished product like, oh, I see it now. That's nice.
You are such an asshole.
Keep fucking with me. You'll get there.
I don't need you to get anywhere, but I do want you to get out. I got him out. He was out the apartment, but not out of my head. The damage was done.
You was my friend. We made a promise, then you broke with time after time. Yeah, again, you is the reason I cannot trust. Can't go through another heartbreak. No, not again.